There's a kind of question that doesn't seek truth, it seeks control. And if you've ever felt that cold shiver down your spine, that subtle twist in your gut, when someone asked you something that sounded innocent but felt off, this video is for you. Because liars don't just lie with their words. They lie with questions, twisted questions, loaded questions, questions designed not to understand but to manipulate. And once you learn to recognize them, once you see how they operate, you'll never look at conversation the same way again. So let's dive in, deep, dark, and unfiltered, because we're about to dissect the psychological warfare of manipulators and expose the tactics they don't want you to see, using the same tools the Stoics used to remain unbreakable in a world full of shadows. 1. Why are you being so sensitive? This is the classic gaslight grenade. It's not a real question, it's a disguised accusation. Here's what the manipulator is really saying. I want to step over your boundary, and I need you to feel ashamed for noticing. Seneca warned us, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. And this question weaponizes your imagination. It turns your perception inward, makes you question your reality, and convinces you that your awareness is actually weakness. But let's be clear, sensitivity is not a flaw. It's not fragility, it's awareness. And awareness is the enemy of deception. A liar fears the person who notices too much, because that person sees the cracks before they spread. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake, I will gladly change, for it is the truth I seek." Ask yourself, is this person helping you grow, or are they trying to make you doubt what you already know? Next time someone hits you with, "Why are you being so sensitive?" stay calm, hold the line, and reply, "I'm not being sensitive, I'm being observant. Are you uncomfortable with that?" Watch closely. That's when the mask begins to slip. 2. You trust me, right? It sounds innocent, but underneath, a trap. Anyone who demands trust instead of earning it is already lying to you. Trustworthy people don't beg for your belief. They prove it through action. This question isn't about connection, it's a silent threat. It says, turn off your instincts, ignore your judgment, hand me the keys. But remember what Epictetus said, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. This question isn't about trust, it's about shutting down your curiosity. It's a guilt trip disguised as intimacy, because manipulators know, the more you ask questions, the faster their lies collapse. So don't respond with loyalty, respond with clarity. Apply the Stoic principle of apatheia, calm detachment. Next time someone says, "You trust me, right?" Pause, breathe, then say, "Trust is earned through consistency. Are you asking me to ignore my judgment?" They won't know what to do with that. They'll either dodge, deflect, or get angry. Let them. 3. Are you accusing me of something? Ah, the great deflection. This is the liar's pivot play, turning your curiosity into confrontation. You ask a question and suddenly you're on trial. They flip the script. Now you're the aggressor. Now you're the villain. And just like that, you're defending yourself for thinking. This question is meant to throw you off balance, to make you second-guess your gut, to backpedal before you connect the dots. But Stoicism teaches us, the first step toward wisdom is knowing when to be silent. Silence doesn't mean surrender, it means strategy. This question, it deserves no direct answer, only stillness. When someone throws, "Are you accusing me of something?" at you, hold eye contact. Pause, 2, 3 seconds. Then say, "Should I be?" Most liars will stammer, because they expected panic, not power. 4. Would I ever lie to you? This one? Poison in silk. It's not a question. It's theater, a performance designed to paint them as morally untouchable. They want you to feel guilty for even thinking they might be deceptive, to believe they're above lies, above suspicion. But here's the thing. Why ask that? Unless they know you're dangerously close to the truth. The Stoics warned us, do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others. It hinders your understanding of what is. And that's what this question does. It invites you to speculate instead of observe. It fogs your clarity. So don't answer directly. Instead, respond with the question that cuts through the illusion. When someone says, "Would I ever lie to you?" Pause. Then calmly respond, "That's not the question. The question is, would I know if you did?" That will land hard. because liars thrive in the fog, and you just turned on the spotlight. 5. Can't we just move on from this? Translation: I don't want to be held accountable. This is the manipulator's last card: emotional fatigue. They want you tired, exhausted. They want you to walk away, not because the truth came out, but because you gave up. They count on your emotional burnout, not your clarity. But Marcus Aurelius warned, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. They want to skip the truth before you can connect the final dots, before the mask fully slips. Don't rush closure. Truth doesn't come with a deadline. When someone drops, "Can't we just move on from this?" look them in the eye and say, "I'll move on when I understand what happened, not before." That will shake them, because now you're immovable, and they can't manipulate what they can't move. 6. Why can't you just let it go? This sounds like a plea for peace, but it's really a command for silence. When someone says, "Why can't you just let it go?" what they're really saying is, "I don't want to deal with the consequences of what I did, so I'm going to shame you for remembering." This question flips responsibility. Now you're the one holding on to things, you're the one causing the tension. But in truth, it's not about grudge, it's about integrity. The Stoics taught us that peace isn't built by avoiding discomfort. It's built on clarity, accountability, and courage. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, never esteem anything as of advantage to you that will make you break your word or lose your self-respect. This question is an attempt to preserve their comfort at the cost of your clarity. So the next time someone hits you with, "Why can't you just let it go?" say this calmly, "Because what you're asking me to forget hasn't been resolved." Letting go is the end of healing, not the start. That line, it stops manipulators in their tracks, because they can't argue with truth that stands still. 7. Are you always this difficult? This one is all about disarming you. It's a subtle form of character assassination, a way to frame your boundaries as personality flaws. They want you to believe your standards are problems, that your logic is combative, that your strength is unpleasant. But understand this, you are not difficult. You are disciplined. Seneca wrote, "If you wish to be loved, love discipline." Manipulators don't want discipline. They want ease. They want access without resistance, control without confrontation. When someone says, "Are you always this difficult?" hold your ground. Smile, calm, composed, and say, "No, I'm only this difficult." When someone tries to play games, that line delivers the truth with a blade behind it. And liars feel it, because they weren't expecting resistance wrapped in calm. Final warning, liars don't just lie with words, they lie with feelings. They twist your perception until you can't tell whether they're lying or you're just losing your mind. They make you feel guilty for being smart, ashamed for asking questions, cold for being logical, unreasonable for having standards. They spin the story until you become the villain, just for noticing the plot holes. But here's the truth, you are not broken for having boundaries. You are not cruel for asking hard questions. You are not paranoid for wanting clarity, and you are not too much for seeking peace that isn't built on lies. You are awake, and manipulators hate the ones who are awake, because awake people can't be seduced, can't be controlled, can't be misled. The Stoics didn't chase comfort, they chased clarity. They trained their minds to remain razor-sharp in a world built to dull your edge, because they understood something most people still don't. A man who sees clearly becomes dangerous. He doesn't chase validation. He doesn't beg for loyalty. He doesn't justify his boundaries. And he cannot be manipulated by fake innocence or hollow charm. So remember these 5 red flag questions. Each one is a chess move. Each one is bait. Each one is crafted to turn your mind against itself. But now, you know the playbook. Now, you're no longer the pawn. You're the player. And pawns, they get sacrificed. But players win. The fire drill of truth. Every time someone makes you feel off balance, run this internal checklist. Is this person seeking truth or control? Am I being guilted into silence? Would Marcus or Seneca tolerate this kind of question? What happens if I don't answer? Who gets uncomfortable? Would I call this healthy if I saw it happening to someone I love? If the answer stings, trust it. If your gut tightens, don't ignore it. Your instinct isn't broken. It's under attack. Liars prey on those who doubt themselves. Stoics train to never flinch. And now, so can you. Not through rage, but through awareness. Not by fighting back, but by becoming unshakable. That's what makes you dangerous. Because when you can sit across from a liar, meet their gaze with calm certainty, and see right through them, you've already won.